Well, my friends, we've made it to game number 25. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. An often overlooked title for the Nintendo GameCube, released in 2002. The first rated M for mature game for the GameCube library. I started this year of gaming to revisit a hobby that I had lost sight of in 2014. And in that year, I played 64 games, start to finish. And for 2021, I decided it was the right time to come back and revisit this project. And here we are, April 28th. The year is almost a third of the way through. At this pace, I'm gonna definitely get past 64 games for the year. Game number 25. So good evening, welcome back to a year of gaming. I am Grizzly, and here we are. Good evening, Directing Titan. Too scary. Oh, my friend, you're in for a real treat. So, I have already set everything up so that we can get going. I think it's just gonna be us. Oh, Henry, poop. Highlighting his message. Okay, let me get real close to the microphone. Poop in butts. Thank you for the highlighted message. Oh, Henry 78. And welcome. Okay, so here we are. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, Nintendo GameCube. I'm running this through Nintendo Wii that I purchased an HDMI converter for. So we are running in 480p. We are running in widescreen. This is the absolute top tier quality, short of going emulation, that we can for this absolutely beautiful game. So, all right. Also, Bargon. All right. Well, no time like the present, folks. Atronette, good evening. I'll be the first to admit I've always loved GameCube and not loving scary games. I never realized they had scary games. Yes, this was actually one of the first games to launch for the Nintendo GameCube. Since the console released in November of 2001. It actually was delayed because of the 9/11 attacks, but eventually Nintendo did get it out. So, okay, enough of the introductions and the congratulations and thanking you all for... Actually, let me get that out of the way quick. Thank you all for being with me on this journey for the last 4 months. I look forward to doing more of this with you for the rest of 2021. So with that out of the way, let's start the game.
Flesh, bone, bound together with the oddest magical incantation. This wretched book is where it all began so long ago. Before time, before humanity. I am Dr. Edward Roivas. I am a clinic...
What? Wait, what? The game just could not be read? What? What? This isn't a sanity effect. No! What? Hang on. We're gonna reload. Let's take a look at this disc here. It's quite immaculate. There's no scratches on it. Oh no. May the rats eat your eyes indeed. Okay. Way to go, Henry. You've damned us all. Okay. All right.
This is not my story.
Hey!
Nor even the story of the Roivas family. It is the story of humanity.
Super glad that it picked right back up.
Like it or not, believe it or not, as you will. Your perceptions will not change reality.
Married, I know how this
but
works.
Simply color it. Humanity has been on the edge of extinction.
Yeah, for the record, this probably isn't a game
millennia.
for Spunky Nugget. Too many
Ignorant
zombies.
of so much, and dependent on so few. The Guardians grow restless. Their time once again near. Whether by fate or misfortune, my family has crossed their path, and they didn't take kindly to it. Their attention turns to my granddaughter, for she is the last of my line, and the last hope for humanity.
This is a quick, this is a little tutorial. That should be all of the enemies. There we go. May the rats eat your eyes! There it is.
Remember me, Alex?
Hello?
Miss Alexandra Roivas?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Inspector LaGrasse of the Rhode Island Police. I'm sorry to disturb you, but
Sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up.
an
God,
accident.
really, Henry?
I'll be on the next flight out.
Okay. Well, I was already sitting down. So I'll do a stand up. While we're waiting for this cutscene to finish. Okay, so there's a stand up.
Ah, Miss Roivas. I'm pleased to meet you. I trust you had a pleasant trip?
Yes, I suppose so, considering.
Yes, my condolences.
Here's
is
the
most
sit down. It's actually a
unpleasant.
squat.
It's a shame we couldn't meet under brighter circumstances.
Yes, it is. Can we get this over with, please?
Of course. This way.
I
I must
fulfill
warn you,
every
it's
bit of
not a
honey that's
pleasant
ever
sight.
that's ever submitted to my
I'm
channel.
afraid there's not much to see.
That looks pretty rough.
Miss Roivas, is that your grandfather, Edward?
Is that your dead grandfather who died?
Yes, it's him.
Is that the corpse of your
He's
murdered
wearing our
grandfather
family
who
ring.
died from murder?
I don't understand. Why are you showing me this? Can't you check dental records or something? What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. It's my job, lady. You're
I'm
the
a
only
cop.
living relative.
Wah, wah,
and
wah.
no, we can't check dental records. There's no head.
There it
None of
is.
this makes sense. There's
No,
no
it's a
sign
blank.
of intrusion, and there was certainly a lot of force used here. I have never seen anything like
Chris
this
is
in
nothing
my
if not
20
thorough.
years
Of
on the
course he's
force.
going to do it. Thank you,
We have
H&M.
no
Thank you for
evidence
backing
except
me
for
up.
the body, and what's left doesn't say much.
What's left of the bloody
have a
body
single
of your murdered grandfather, who was
You
killed
better
quite
find
viciously,
out
and we
who
don't
did
know
this.
why.
I'm
Doesn't
not
say much.
leaving Rhode Island until you do. There must be some clue in this old mansion revealing what happened. I want answers.
So do I. I wish I had some.
But I don't. It's a shame I couldn't flirt with you, but your grandfather died. Shocked by her grandfather's mysterious death and frustrated at the incompetence of the local police, hey! Alex vows to uncover the truth. She decides to search the mansion, the place where Edward conducted his research. If there was a tie to his past, and possibly a tie to his murderer, it would be here. So, alright. So let me get reaccustomed to the controls here. L is to run. R is to target. A is to punch. B is action. Spunky Nugget. Keep standing here flying. Sit down. Okay. Three. Two. Okay. Then I balanced it out. Do an Oompa Loompa dance to fulfill those. Hey, good evening, Zerg. Spunky Nugget making me stand up. Okay. Getting right back to it. 7, 38, 40. Okay. So we're gonna explore a little bit. There's a... so it's a pretty big mansion. There's a lot here. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't really add up. There's this... A wooden plaque is fastened to the door, taking the place of the lock. A colored sigil is carved into the wood above a wide slot. The slot is just wide enough to insert a narrow blade. I'm just here to be inconvenient. Alright, well, glad to have you here, Spunky Nugget. Good evening. And happy Wednesday to you, and happy Wednesday to Zergaholic as well. Tell you what. Oh, yeah, so this is the pause menu. It'll make sense in a little bit. Just get past that, get past that. I know all this. It'll become relevant later. Options. Here we go. We're going to make it a little bit brighter, just because I can tell from the stream that it's pretty dark. Save and continue. It's been warned, you may not like the scaries on here. Yeah, there's they're not exactly zombies, but they're to be thorough. They're not quite zombies, but I'm not really quite sure what they are. So, ooh, highlight my message. It's Wednesday, my dudes and dudettes and everyone in between. I like the phrase, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, folk, children of all ages, and folks of all flavors. A grand piano stands here awaiting the hands of a decent musician. Unfortunately, Edward never really lived up to that description, and as such, the piano fell into disuse. Why does she look like Buffy? Great question, and good evening, Fiery Fangbanger. Might as well ask Silicon Knights why they chose that. Never thought of that. Yeah. The illustration features a collection of strange lined designs related to each other in a cyclical manner. There appears to be some significance to it, but it isn't particularly evident. Alright, let's go here. We'll explore much of the mansion later. I do know... A beautiful carriage clock. The hands appear to be stuck, yet the clock continues to tick, with the time permanently set to 3:33. There's a key in the back of the clock, presumably for winding it. Yeah, let's take a look at the key. Alex picks up the desk clock and pulls a key from it. However, there's something odd about the key. It isn't for winding it at all. It looks like a dresser key. Alright. My favorite is Quiet Fives, a 10 is speaking. A 10 is speaking. I was thinking Sonya Blade, Fiery Fangbanger, but probs because I got Mortal Kombat on the brain. Yeah, she's also got very strong Sonya Blade energy. For sure. Okay. So, we're in the library, aka the study, aka where we found our grandfather's brutalized corpse from being murdered so murderously. And, alright, so I mean, I've played through this game a few times, I know where we gotta go. So, alright, this looming grandfather clock seems to stand ominously in the corner, gazing on this empty room with an almost patriarchal air. Oh dear! Adjust the clock hands. Should Alex adjust the clock hands? We will, but I have to do a few things. Alright. Hang on, folks. I gotta redeem this. So, I was already standing up, so that don't count. So, we're gonna sit down. So that's sit down. Alright, stand up. Tick, tock, tick, tock, and sit down. And we're going to do this whole process 2 more times. All right, and sitting down. Just really making use of my standing desk is really the way I'm looking at it. And standing up. And finally, one last sit down. Okay, and now with that, have a good night, Spunky Nugget. No worry about the knees directing Titan, it's all good. Alright, let's adjust the clock hands. I know I'm in the minority with this, but I love the sound of a clock ticking. Well, it's a nice, this one is a very nice clock. So, 3:33 is pretty important, so we're going to set this clock to 3:33. Secret passage. Secret passage. Secret study. Secret study. All right. Flashing book calls to us. A large, leather-bound antique book rests upon the cluttered desk. Should Alex read the book? Yes. Ah, good eye, Atronet. Her clock in the intro was also set to 3:33. It's a very important time in this game.
I had no knowledge of what was to come, nor did I care. How the knowledge changed me, it will also change you. As you read this, you will come to learn fear as I have.
I love that line.
You too will come to understand, or you will perish.
You will come to know fear as I have. That is
To think
lovely.
that once I could not see beyond the veil of our reality. To see those who dwell behind. My life now has purpose, for I have learned the frailty of flesh and bone. I
you're gonna-
was once a fool.
You're going to notice something really cool here with them speaking in Latin.
Viris quies candam est, viris conservandae. Facusatis aquae sumat, et animus eorum confirma. Pugna huis, dia sit modo prima multarum, si inceptum conficiamus.
Quam primum, Centurio Augustus.
Volo res
I would like to
militaris.
compliment you once more on your battle tactics. Our enemies did not have a chance. Do you believe that it really exists, Centurion?
I do not doubt our Emperor's beliefs, or his orders. But if we are to retrieve the artifact, then we must be strong and patient.
Who's calling? It's 26 BC. We don't have phones. Definitely not Russell Crowe. Yeah, good point, good point, Henry. All right, here we go. Deep in the underground. The dais on the floor is finely crafted, inlaid with gold and gems that Pius can't identify. A strong linear design is situated in the middle and is equally unknown to the Roman soldier. All right, so one of the benefits of Pius Augustus is that he doesn't get tired. He can just basically run forever. Oh, I lied. He definitely gets tired. A ladder leads into the dank heart of the labyrinth. Danger lurks beneath, yet Pius's courageous resolve does not buckle. Should he climb down the ladder? Absolutely. Alright, let's take a look at something real quick. I want to make sure that you're all seeing as much of this game as possible. Which of course means we have this weird black border on the right, but it's preferable to not seeing it at all. Okay. But if that does get too annoying, do let me know. Alright. firefighter guy at the end has basically infinite stamina. That makes sense, too. Alright, so got my first battle coming up here. And surprise, it's 3 of them! These are the very basic zombie enemies. And the easiest way to kill them is to take off their head and then both of their arms. And you can press B to deliver a finishing blow. So we're going to pick up this little block. Strange granite block lies on the floor. Alright, so pick up a granite block. We'll pick up this green one. Make sure we're not missing anything here. You can also choose to not finish them off. They'll eventually just disappear. But since they're very basic enemies, we don't really care. Oh, thank you for the explanation, Henry. Yes, you can target individual limbs. That's what we're doing here. Pick up the purple. I think, no, that is the blue. And nothing else in here. And we'll head down. You can also choose to leave them like that, and they can't literally do anything. The bars across the door block Pius' exit from the room. So we gotta go in this room. And look at that! All these symbols are on the wall. So guess where everything goes? This wall is prominently decorated with a strange lined symbol carved into the granite. Cut into the wall is a square hole lined with scratches as though something has been removed from it. Atronet, yes, I have played the whole game before. The last time I played it, I didn't beat it. It was 2016, but the last time I played prior to that would have been around 2005. And there's a regular ending, and then there's a true ending. You have to play through the game 3 times to get the true ending, and I have gotten that far. Alright, so this introduces the use mechanic that we saw earlier, so we're going to use this granite block. We'll put that granite block in there. This first chapter is very straightforward. The insanity effects aren't prevalent in this one yet, and that'll become clear later what that means. But Pius is a Roman soldier. He ain't never scared. Okay, and let's do this final granite block. Pius, you must prove your worth by destroying the statue. Pressing R will enable Pius to select which target to attack, as Henry was just describing. Releasing R slightly and then pressing it again will cycle between multiple targets. Pius can attack specific body parts while locked onto an enemy by moving the control stick and pressing A. Use up, left, and right to attack the head and arms respectively. A button attached to a small pylon softly illuminates the room. A bizarre energy seems to radiate from it. We will push the button. Some janitor has to put that statue puzzle together every time someone goes through the hallway. Yes, hard agree, Zergaholic. That is a pretty cool mechanic. There aren't, correct, Directing Titan, there are no leg shots in this game. It's just the head, the torso, and the arms. Especially for the age of the game and how nothing really does that, right? Yeah, this game's almost 20 years old at this point. Alright, so we're at the end of Pius's chapter. And we get to look at 3 different artifacts. A strange sculpture resembling a red-clawed worm mysteriously floats above the pedestal. We're not going to take that one. Shaped like a delicate dome, a pale blue statuette floats gracefully above the pedestal. Nope. We are going to take this one. An effigy resembling a warped angel shaped from dark green emerald hovers effortlessly above the pedestal. Yeah, he'll be okay. Walk it off, buddy. You'll be fine. You know. He ain't dead.
Eons have passed since then, and I have learned much. I was once as naive as a child, but now my mind is sharp. With the power of Xel'lotath, I can now read the thoughts of others and make them raving mad with a mere suggestion. Face me, and you shall surely perish.
Hell yeah. She's like, Alex is acquired, so the start menu is actually the Tome of Eternal Darkness. This is the Tome of Eternal Darkness, where experience, spells, and enchanted items can be stored for future use. It has been made from fragments of human skin and bone, and endowed with magical powers. Excuse me. There we go. We also have the second floor key. Don't know when we picked that up, but okay. Also, over here. Oh yeah, there's some other stuff we can check out here. A diabolic drawing of a stack of human bodies, each one cemented into place. What twisted psyche could have executed this drawing? Though disturbing, it is meticulously rendered down to the subtlest detail. The precise anatomy of fractured bones and the convolutions of spines and ribs entwine into a mesmerizing sight. An ancient Roman weapon, a gladius, is on display above the fireplace mantle. Another token of eclectic junk. We'll take that eclectic junk. It might look familiar. This is a bizarre drawing of a cyclopean city, its immense architecture bathed in an unnatural fog. The detail is incredible. As Alex studies it, she can almost imagine the city's inhabitants. A painting of a jungle-shrouded building. It seems to be a temple in Asia, perhaps from Thailand or Cambodia. A small shrine of